conscious of time, so I'll try to keep it to 15 minutes. First thing I always say when I meet industry from within Trinity, that myself and all my colleagues in Trinity Technology Transfer Office, we all come from industry. We've all worked in industry. I've been in this job for 4 years almost now, but we know we're not people that have been in the ivory towers of academia all our careers. We know hopefully what industry is about because we've worked in it most of our careers. So to collaborate with third level institutes, technology transfer, what is technology transfer? Just to be clear, it's the transfer of technology developed in government or university laboratories to the private sector. And it's for the we're not about making money. It's very important to understand that my targets have no euro symbols in it. It's all about socio-economic benefit. It's about impact. It's about creating employment within Ireland. So we're not about trying to make cash. Very few technology transfer offices anywhere in the world, even in the United States, make money unless they've been very lucky with a blockbuster drug or something like that. A lot of money, as we're all aware, a lot of money has been invested in Ireland in research within higher education. By the way, when I say university, I mean also institutes of technology. I hate these acronyms, higher education institution or research performing organization. Just when I say university, I mean third level institute. I just hate those RPO, HEI. But anyway, up to, a lot of money has been spent in Ireland, and now it's all about trying to get return and benefit to the Irish economy. So when you interact with a university, there's two ways that things can work. Very often up to now, it's been all about if we build it, you will come as a company and you say, wow, that's really interesting, I'd like to take that. Or more importantly, I think what's more relevant is collaborative research, where the company comes with a need and tries to work with the research institution. But this is the field of dreams idea that has been in all universities, that we will just do this wonderful research and all these companies will come knocking at our door. But in practice, that's not very practical, and that's what we're really trying to change and work more closely with industry. So the main schemes, they'll be referred to by other people today, the main schemes really SFI, Irish Research Council, the FP7 programme, but really it's Enterprise Ireland that is the most important by far. Really, genuinely, these other schemes tend to be a little bit more focused on, they tend to be to support PhDs, for example. A key thing about Enterprise Ireland is they don't support PhDs, because PhDs take 3 to 4 years. For industry, that's just too long. So I think Enterprise Ireland is the most. The other ones are good, particularly SFI is moving more towards collaboration with industry, but it's still quite academically focused. So within Enterprise Ireland, Greg mentioned the Innovations Voucher Scheme is a great scheme. Trinity does an awful lot of, far more than most of the Irish universities actually. I'm not sure why, but we really take them seriously because it is a small amount, but they work very well. But for a more meaty project, the Innovation Partnership, as referred to by Greg, is a very good scheme where the company can get up to 80% of the funding covered by Enterprise Ireland. But there's a few things to be aware of, that 20% must be cash, there's no benefit in kind, it has to be real cash. The university must apply on the company's behalf, so you have to come to the university first. Overheads, the university has to charge overheads, so if you contribute 20% cash, there's an extra 40% on that to cover the overheads for the university. And also VAT is payable on that. Sometimes companies just aren't aware of that. It's a little detail that I always try to tell companies very early on. When it comes to deal with Technology Transfer Office, I think we have a reputation. I think this comes from America, really. Technology transfer has been in the States for 20 years or more, and they can be quite aggressive, and they can be really trying to make as much buck as they can for the university. And really, when I came from industry first, and I saw the license terms, genuinely the license terms particularly to Irish industry, particularly to SMEs, and particularly to startups, are very, very favourable, practically free. Really, you're genuinely talking about royalties of 3%. You know, if you're running a software business and you can't make a margin, can't afford to give away a royalty of 3%, usually for an SME or a startup there'd be no upfront fee. But a few things to remember: universities must always retain the rights for teaching purposes and for research. We don't like to assign the IP. We'll give you a perpetual worldwide license, but we don't like to assign in the first instance. Now, if you raise investment, a certain amount of investment, then we'll fully assign over the IP. We do like to put a performance clause in the license, which means that just to stop a company sitting on the IP and doing nothing with it. So they're usually very reasonable. If you don't go and meet so many companies or actively market or make a reasonable effort to commercialize. In a campus company, if it's a startup, we would take equity in the campus company, but 95% of the equity is available to you as a startup. So if you come to Trinity and you see a researcher that's doing something you like, you want to form a company with him, you've got 95% of the equity to do whatever you want. We take 5% only. It's non-negotiable, but it's fully dilutable as well. So it's really, you can do quite clever things with your corporate finance to make that very effective, to be honest. But really, I'm just emphasizing the point is we're not about making money. So what have we been doing in Trinity? What type of research that might be relevant to you, and what type of collaborations? We had an event last month or a few weeks ago. Every year around October we hold an event where we show all the technologies, and I've got a brochure down on the desk there, which goes through 38 different technologies that we put on show. So what have we done over the last 4 years since we've been funded by Enterprise Ireland? We've had, in the last 4 years, 260 inventions have been registered in our office. We've had 55 licenses to industry, and we would stress that 91% of those are to Irish companies. And we've formed in Trinity 29 campus companies. We really are pushing startups out of Trinity, as are the other universities, institutes of technology. So this is just a sample this is the brochure that it's actually, I'd really encourage you, I've got enough there for everybody, so have a look, take a copy, and just see the kind of things that we are developing, and they may be of interest to your industry. But you see the classic people, somebody talked earlier about open innovation, so we do have the pipeline of, but this is an open innovation funnel, so there is holes in every point. You can come in and out at any point, just because you don't have to wait till it comes out at the end before it's ready. We're looking for industry at the earliest stage. So you can see that it's a lot of it is life sciences, but I'm responsible for IT, ICT. So we've got some very interesting stuff here. I don't want to talk about it. This isn't the forum to do that. But please ask you to take away a copy of the brochure. And here is just a sample of some of the licensees, and just in the last 2 years, some of the companies we've been working with, and they're not multinational corporations. Well, we did do a deal with Google, but it was so hard to get the permission to use we did license something to Google, but to get them to use their logo, I made the mistake of asking them, could I use their logo? So it just got lost in some lawyer's inbox in San Francisco. But we're trying to do, it's a bit of a numbers game as well. Not all of these will be successful, and people in universities sometimes have difficulty with failure. Failure isn't something that academics really like to embrace, but You know, at this stage, I can look at about 3 or 4 of these that, to be honest, that are not trading anymore, to be honest. That's the reality. And if you go back, if I was to show you the startups from 2 years ago, that number would be about a third. That's normal, that's fine. But the same people sometimes come back and start. They've learnt and they go out and start something new. So basically, that's it. And that's just here's some contact details for us. We don't have a brand in Trinity like Nova UCD or Ignite in Galway, which is kind of a bugbear for me. I don't really know why. Or Hothouse, which Tom was just about to talk about Hothouse. So we've got this dreadful URL, but we're quite active on Twitter. So thanks very much. I'd like to hand over to Tom.